All right. Hi, guys. Good afternoon. So let's come to a seat. Find a comfortable seat and really begin to anchor in to your practice. So take a moment and kind of get any wiggles or movements out, adjusting your body so you can sit comfortably in stillness for a few moments, and then begin to arrive mentally here at your practice. I want you to acknowledge all of the things that you have on your to do list. I want you to acknowledge all of the things that you have done already in your day, and then just put it aside. Your to do list will be there after practice, but you made it a point to show up on the mat today. You made it a point to carve this time out for yourself. So really honor yourself. Taking a couple more moments and just start to smooth out the breath so the inhales and the exhales are equal. The eyes are closed. And just begin to witness yourself breathing. So you can do that by just feeling the breath expanding in the body. And you can feel the exhale. And try and allow to have the single point of focus just on the inhales and the exhales. Witness your body breathing. Then we're going to start with a couple of neck rolls this afternoon. So allow the eyes to be closed, maintain this equal inhale and exhale that you've cultivated. Maintain this sense of witness or observer. As you exhale, you drop your chin towards your chest. Witness the sensation of the stretch of the back of the neck. And as you witness the inhalation, your chin moves over to the right, following the inhalation up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, the chin moves down towards the left and then back towards the sternum. So, following your breath here, moving slowly and mindfully, and just witness yourself breathing and moving in unison. We'll do one more cycle in this direction. And then, next time you find yourself with your chin towards your chest, you pause. Take a conscious round of breath. Witness the sensations of the body. And then you're going to do 3 neck rolls in the other direction. Syncing breath with movements, and just simply observing the sensations. No judgments, no need to control, just witness. Eventually, you find yourself with a neutral head and neck. And we're going to exhale and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And you can take the right hand just to the top of the head there. Just add a little bit of weight to that stretch. And if you want to deepen in, we're going to take the left hand behind the back, and maybe you kind of anchor it in on the right side of the hip. So start to open up through that left front of that shoulder, that left trap, breathing into any sensations that you may be experiencing here, witnessing what's happening in the body. And then inhaling, coming up and center, unwinding, noticing the sensations as you release that bind, as the head comes back to neutral. And then with your next conscious exhale, you drop that left ear to the left shoulder. Observe the sensations. And then you bring the left hand to the head for just a little bit of extra weight here. This may be enough for you, but of course, if you want to go deeper, you're going to take that right hand back and around And maybe kind of lock it into that left hip as you open up through the front of that right shoulder and the right trap. Inhales and exhales are still equal. And we're going to inhale, come center and unwind. And uncrossing your legs and then recrossing them in the opposite direction. Inhaling, drawing the arms up overhead. And then exhale, drop the right hand in line with the right hip and start to walk that hand far away from the body. Make sure the left hip and left glute stay anchored onto the mat. You can even drop to your right forearm here if you're feeling really open. Peel that left shoulder back and start to open up through the left front of the shoulder, the sternum. Reaching that left arm up and away, breathing into the left side rib cage. Keeping the left hip firmly planted on the earth. Inhale, witness the body expand. Exhale, witness the body contract. One more big breath in here. And your next exhale, you're going to drop that left hand to the mat. And then we're going to inhale and open up. And then exhale, tap the mat one more time. Last time, inhale, we open. And exhale, we bring that left hand back to the mat, really breathing into that left side rib cage, kind of behind the scapula. And then as we inhale, we're going to walk our hands center. Nice, long, straight spine here. Let the head be heavy. Actively pressing through your hands and pressing your glutes firmly into the mat, feeling a stretch across your lower back, feeling the breath rising up along the spine. And then inhale, walking your hands back center. Let's do that on the other side. So drawing the arms up overhead. Exhale, taking that left hand to the mat in line with your hip. And then moving deeper into this expression. Taking a couple of breaths here. Witnessing where you feel the breath expanding to. Like notice that area that the breath stops, that constriction. And see if you can give that area permission to soften. And maybe the next inhale, the breath expands even farther. So we're going to dip that right hand to the mat 3 times. So exhale, drop that right hand, bowing out behind the rib cage. Inhale, you lift and open up through the heart and sternum. Exhale, you drop the right hand. Inhale, you lift. And then last time, you drop the right hand. Actively breathing into the space behind the right side of the rib cage. Feeling a nice stretch for the side body. And then inhaling, walking your hands center. Nice long spine, head and neck are heavy. Feeling the stretch across your lower back, feeling the breath rise along the spine. And then the next inhale, you're going to roll right up into a tabletop. Take a couple rounds of cat-cow here, starting to find some movement between the vertebrae. Starting to wake up through the hips and the shoulders. And most importantly, linking breath with movement. Coming to a neutral tabletop, you're going to tuck your toes, lift your seat, and come into a downward dog. Take your time here and really pedal it out. Nice, slow, conscious movement. Starting to feel the breath expand beyond the chest and abdomen, maybe down into the legs. I know your lungs aren't in your legs, it's a figure of speech, but really follow the breath. See how far you can feel your body expand with each inhalation. The next inhale, you're going to roll over your toes and find yourself in high plank where we pause. Engaging through your core, starting to build that heat and strength. Broadening across your shoulders. full muscular engagement. You should almost feel like you're floating here. And then exhale, take it back, downward dog. Big stretch for the back body. Following the breath, we're going to inhale, roll over the toes, high plank one more time. Maybe the eyes are closed here or at a soft gaze, and you're just feeling into the sensations that are happening within the body. From here, we're going to drop to our forearms for a forearm plank. We pause and we hold. And we're going to do 5 hip dips on each side. So exhale, drop your hips to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop your hips to the left. So 4 more of those, really working the obliques, the core, building strength in the shoulders. You can keep your eyes closed here and focus on the body and the breath. We'll meet back in this forearm plank. Exhale, drop the pelvis to the mat. Slide the elbows so they're stacked perfectly under your shoulders. Lift the lower ribs off the mat, Sphinx pose. So now we're stretching the abdominal muscles, compressing the lower back, squeezing the scapula together. The eyes are closed. Take 3 conscious rounds of breath here and feel the breath expand through the body. See if you can notice where it's met with resistance. Notice where the breath stops. And then sliding the palms underneath of the shoulders, tucking your toes, and then lifting up into high plank, and then exhale back to downward dog. You're going to take a bend in the knees, switch your gaze, and hop, step, or walk to the front of the mat. Exhale and fold. Let's spend a few extra breaths here. Actively pressing through your heels so you're starting to really engage through your hamstrings. Use your in-breath, feel the whole torso expand, and then as you exhale, notice how the navel draws inward and you draw yourself closer towards your thighs. The head and neck hang heavy as they're just an extension of your spine, and deepen into this forward fold. Feeling the whole back body stretch and expand. You can shake your head yes or no here. The eyes can be closed. And then with the next inhale, in a very, very soft spine, you're going to roll up to a standing position. Pausing when you get to the top of your mat. Taking a moment here in mountain pose and regrounding into your practice. Anchoring down through your feet, full muscular engagement here. The eyes can be open or they can be closed. And on the next inhale, you're going to draw both arms up overhead. This time we're going to take a little back bend here. So as you exhale, you're really just lifting your heart and sternum, pressing your pubic bone forward, and just taking a little back bend. Opening up through the front. And then the exhale, we hinge at the hips and the hands come all the way back down to the mat. Inhale, lift to a flat back. Exhale, step that left foot back, runner's lunge. Let's be here for a few breaths in runner's lunge. Keep your fingers tented. Try to avoid hands flat on the earth. Really keep your fingers tented or just hovering completely. High on the ball of your left foot. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Really engage that right hip and glute. We're going to start to work on that right hamstring. So as you inhale, you're just straightening the right leg. Nothing else is changing in the body. And then as you exhale, you bend back into that right knee. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Exhale, bend into that knee. Last time, and we hold. So inhale, straighten into that right leg. Keep the right leg as straight as comfortably possible. Keep drawing that right hip back. And then exhale, let the torso just waterfall over that leg. We're going to hold this pose for about 5 breaths. It's called intense forward fold for a reason. I know it's intense, but I want you to observe the sensations that are happening right now. I know that you're feeling it in your hamstring. You may be feeling it in the sole of your foot. You may be feeling it in your glutes. But beyond that, notice what's happening in the body. Maybe you exhale and you go a little bit deeper, starting to get into the back. And then your next exhale, you're going to bend back into your right knee and use your inhalation to lift you up into crescent warrior. Draw the right hip back. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over your hips, so you don't want to be leaning forward here. You want to be really nice and aligned. Reach the arms up overhead and just breathe. Roll high on the ball of that left foot, deep bend in that right knee still. Feel this channeled energy just moving right up through the center line of your body and out through the crown of your head. Can you close your eyes here? What happens in your body when your eyes are closed? What happens to your breath? One more nice, long, patient breath here. The exhale, we drop both hands back to the earth and we're coming up into standing split. Still anchoring through that right foot, you lift the left leg off the mat, standing splits. Really straightening through that right leg, activating through that right glute and hip, keeping the left toes flexed. Maybe you bring one hand or both to the standing ankle. And then exhale, bend back into that right knee, drop the left foot, runner's lunge. Inhale, we come back up, crescent warrior. You've been here before, but this time we're going to inhale, straighten the right leg. And as we exhale, we open up into warrior two. So again, check out where you are in space. Your shoulders should be stacked over your hips. Wrists are in line with the shoulders. It's called proprioception, knowing where you are in space. Pressing firmly through the pinky sides of your feet, squeezing the inner thighs together. The breath is steady. The breath is calm and patient here. Close the eyes. Observe what's happening in the body. Be the witness here. Can you see your heart pumping? Can you feel the blood moving through your arteries and your veins? What happens to this pose if you close your eyes? We're going to inhale, straighten that front right leg, take that left hip back towards the back of your mat, and we're going to come on down for Trikonasana. Keeping the shoulders stacked, actively drawing that left shoulder back. Maybe you take those peace fingers and you reach for that right big toe and take the really deep expression of Trikonasana. And we hold and we breathe and we notice. How does this pose make us feel? Beyond the physical. So our next exhale, a couple things are going to happen. You're going to drop that left hand to the mat and you're going to roll back onto your left foot. Take a little bend in your right knee. You're setting yourself up for standing splits again. And then you inhale, come up into standing splits. This time we're going to move through 5 Shiva squats. So as you exhale, you come down for the first one and inhale, find standing split. Exhale, 2 and standing split. Exhale, 3, standing splits, and 4. This last Shiva squat we're going to hold. So exhale, come down into the Shiva squat and then hold. So maybe your hands are still on the mat, and this is a great opportunity to check in and play with your balance. Maybe you bring one hand or both hands to heart center or prayer pose. Try closing your eyes here and just observing what's happening in that right glute, that right quad, that right calf, in your core. Keep your breath steady and balanced. And then from Shiva squat, your hands are at heart center. You inhale up to standing with the left knee in the left hip, in line with the left hip. And pause here. Feel how strong that right leg is, rooted and anchored into the earth. Here in this standing balance pose, you can continue with the eyes closed and see how that shifts the pose for you. Maybe they're at a soft gaze, or you're at a single point of focus, or a dristi. Your next inhale, you're coming back through standing splits, but we're coming into half moon pose. So you're going to drop your right hand underneath of your face. Fingers are tented. Bring your left hand to your hip and just peel your left hip open. You can leave your hand here on the hip and start to rotate open from the shoulders this way. And then when you're feeling stable, you can bring that left arm up as well. Half moon pose. Anchoring into that right foot. Trust fall to come out of this. We're going to land in warrior 2. Bend into the right knee, drop the left foot. Warrior 2. Windmill both hands to the mat. Take that right foot to meet the left. Maybe you move through a 3-legged vinyasa. Maybe you skip vinyasa. And we'll meet right back here in downward dog. Two more resting breaths here in down dog. Checking back in with yourself. And then from here, we bend the knees. We switch the gaze. And we hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Exhale and fold. Take a couple breaths here. We're moving slow today. Maybe your eyes are closed. Maybe you're just focused on the breath. And then with nice slow inhalation and a soft round spine, you're going to roll up to a standing position. Pausing in mountain pose. Here we are again at that pause, noticing, making a choice to be present in this moment. Inhale, draw the arms up overhead. Exhale, take that little back bend, lift the heart. So the back bends don't really happen with the back. You're anchoring down through your heels, you're pressing your pubic bone forward, and then you're lifting your heart, which puts you in a back bend. Exhale, hands come towards the earth. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step that right foot back, runner's lunge. Fingers tented here high on the ball of that right foot. Starting to stretch out through the left hamstring. Inhale, straighten the left leg. And then exhale, bend the knee. And then you inhale, straighten that leg. And exhale, bend the knee. Last time we hold. So inhale, straighten and hold. You can deepen in here by letting that torso waterfall over the left leg. And we spend 5 breaths here. Witnessing the breath. Observing the sensations of the body. Maybe closing the eyes and really turning inward. finishing the breath cycle that you're on. You're going to exhale and bend back into that left knee. Use your inhalation to lift up into a nice, patient crescent warrior. Feeling that full energy channel. So make sure that your shoulders are right over your hips. You're high on the ball of that right foot. The arms are reached up overhead. Maybe the eyes are closed. And you observe what is happening in your body. Observe where your thoughts are guiding you. Exhale both hands to the mat. Coming up for standing split here. Inhale, lifting that right leg off the mat. Standing splits. 5 breaths. So I really encourage tented fingers here as opposed to flat palms. Or if you really want to work on your balance, you bring one hand or both to that standing ankle. Maybe you close the eyes. Maybe you just focus on the breath. And then exhale, we bend the left knee as we drop back into runner's lunge. Inhale, come back to crescent warrior. Straighten that front left leg. And exhale, open up warrior 2 on the opposite side. Breathing into this pose. Making sure that you feel safe and secure in your footing and your foundation. And then to take it deeper, you close the eyes. You take it deeper within yourself. Notice where you're holding on to unnecessary or unconscious tension. Maybe that's in your jaw or in your face. The next inhale, you straighten that left leg, take the right hip back as you come on down for Trikonasana. Drawing that right shoulder back as you lift the heart and sternum. Inhales and exhales are still steady, patient and calm. And then your next exhale, you're dropping that right hand to the mat. You're pivoting on the ball of your right foot, and you're coming back in to standing split. So 5 Shiva squats here, and we hold on the 5th one. So move with your breath. Exhale, you squat. Inhale, extend. Moving with the breath. On your 5th one, you find stillness in your squat. Maybe you close the eyes. Maybe you challenge that balance and bring your hands to heart center. Notice what's happening in that left quad, in the left thigh, in the left foot. So this is that big transition. You inhale, straighten that left leg, and then draw that right knee in towards the chest, where you hold and you pause and you anchor into this moment. You witness what's happening in your body and in your breath. What is your ego saying? Are you wobbly? How are you feeling? Has your breath changed at all? Coming into warrior 3, and then we transition into half moon pose. So inhale, take that right leg back behind you as you drop your left hand, fingers tented under the face. Right hand comes to your hip as you peel that right hip open. And then maybe you draw the right hand up towards the sky. How steady are you here? And not just in your body. How steady are you in your mind and with your breath? preparing for that trust fall. You bend into the left knee and you land in warrior two. Windmill both hands to the mat. Take that left foot up and back. Maybe you move through a three-legged vinyasa. Maybe you skip it. We're going to meet in child's pose. A nice, restful child's pose. You can have a closed knee child's pose if you want to stretch more of the back. You can open the knees to get a more of a stretch for the outer hips. You can rest your head on the backs of your hands, or you can bring your palms alongside your feet. And wherever you are, close your eyes, turn inward, and just feel yourself breathing in this moment. What does it feel like to just be here breathing? From child's pose, we're going to make our way back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to come into dolphin pose. So dropping to your forearms here, actively pressing through your elbows, broadening across your shoulders. Roll high onto your tippy toes. Take your sit bones up towards the sky and start to walk your feet in towards your face. The head and neck should be free here. So your head should not be on the mat. In fact, you should be gazing in between your thumbs. Take a couple more breaths. Keep pressing through the elbows. Keep that chest assertive. And then exhale, drop the knees. Child's pose. So if you would like to come into a forearm stand or a headstand, this would be the opportunity. If you are not coming into either of those poses, that's okay. I'm right there with you. You can come into dolphin pose one more time, or you can hang out with me here in child's pose. Remember, this is your practice and you get to make it any way that you want. So we're going to have about 8 breaths to either take that inversion, to take dolphin pose, or to just focus on what you need in this moment in child's pose. After you've completed your 8 breaths in your choice of inversion, we're all going to meet back here in child's pose. And if you're in your inversion, slowly start to make your way out of it, meeting us back in child's pose for rest. Let all the blood settle, let the body rest. If you're in child's pose already, that's fantastic. I give you permission to soften even more. And then together with our next inhale, we're going to start to just walk our hands back underneath of our shoulders, and we're going to come all the way onto our back. So now we're coming supine. And hugging the knees in towards the chest. So if you didn't get an opportunity to rest in child's pose after your inversion, that's okay. We're going to take another moment here in constructive rest as we press our sacrum firmly into the earth, starting to rock and tilt our pelvis, releasing any pockets of just tightness or tension that may have built up in that region. And then bringing the soles of the feet together, you're going to reach for the pinky sides of your feet and draw the heels towards the groin as you open up through the knees. Supta Baddha Konasana. So So you can take this pose as deep as you'd like. My only requests for you are that you're keeping your shoulders firmly on the mat and that you're keeping your sacrum firmly on the mat. So you can actively be drawing the heels towards the groin, using the strength of your legs to open through the knees, getting a big stretch for the inner hips, breathing into the sensations, witnessing what's happening in the pelvic region of your body. And you can do all of this with the eyes closed, turning off that sense of sight and heightening your other senses. One more breath here. And then exhale, draw the knees in. We're going to take pigeon pose, but supine. So taking the left foot towards the mat, you're going to bring the right ankle on top of the left knee, making a figure four. And this may be where you want to stay. If you want to go deeper, you're going to draw that left knee in towards the chest. You can take your hand through that diamond that it creates and hold on to the outside of the kneecap. So here you're just like we did in Supta Baddha Konasana, you're going to actively press that right knee away to kind of get deep in that right groin. And then if you want to go deeper still, you can straighten the left leg up towards the sky. You can point and flex through the foot, giving the hamstring a little bit more attention. And then to go deeper even still, you hold on to the right foot and the right knee, kind of like you're holding on to a baby. And then you exhale and let that left leg go all the way down to the earth. Supine pigeon pose. Close the eyes here as we're going to spend about 7 breaths. In whatever expression is best for you. And just notice what it feels like in that left hip, in the groin. Where can you release? What tension and tightness are you holding on to that you can just let go of that is unnecessary in this moment? Then wherever you are in your pigeon pose, you're slowly going to back out of it, bringing both soles of the feet to the earth and just kind of seagrass or rock or sway out through the hips. We're going to do that on the opposite side. So the left knee comes to the left ankle comes to the right knee. And you guys know your steps here. So know exactly how far you want to take this. And just because you did something on one side doesn't mean you have to do it on the other. So your right and left side body are completely different. And maybe what was appropriate for the left side is not appropriate for the right, and vice versa. So honor exactly where your body is. Close the eyes and let's be still for 7 more breaths. And then coming out of that deep expression that you're in, bringing both soles of the feet to the earth, and then just rocking or swaying out through the hips. We're hugging both knees into the chest at this point. And when you're ready, you're going to take whatever favorite supine twist on whichever side you want, because we're going to do both sides. So exhaling into your favorite supine twist. Both shoulders remain on the mat. One knee or both knee goes to the opposite side. You close the eyes here. You feel yourself supported in the earth. You feel the breath as it expands through the body. And you start to elongate through your exhale, preparing yourself for Shavasana. Inhaling both knees center, and then exhaling, taking that supine twist on the opposite side. Focusing on those long exhales. Feeling the body breathe. And then inhaling center one last time, maybe taking a few breaths for any final movements that the body might be asking for before we come into Shavasana. Maybe that's happy baby. Maybe it's a bridge pose. And then when you're ready, you just surrender in. You allow the feet to be wider than your hips. And then the shoulders just draw comfortably down the back. You create a sense of space for the neck. Your arms are free from the body. The palms can roll upwards towards the sky. The eyes can be closed or at a soft gaze. As you give yourself permission to just be. And it's okay if your mind wants to wander. Just give it a little direction. Maybe you think about what's physically happening in the body as you rest here. Maybe the mind just witnesses you lying in stillness, as if you're looking down at yourself from above. Just breathe and relax as you slip deeper and deeper into Shavasana. Breathe and relax, witnessing the body lying in stillness, witnessing yourself peaceful and serene. And without thought, without action, just come back to this moment. Come back to yourself, lying in stillness. Come back to yourself, breathing. And slowly begin to invite movements, conscious movements into the body. Maintain this role of observer. And just notice moving your fingers. Witness yourself moving your fingers. Witness yourself rocking your head from side to side. How long can you be in this role of witness or observer as you reawaken? Rolling to the side body, or maybe even just coming right up to a seat. The eyes can still be closed here as you witness and observe what's happening internally to yourself. Bringing the hands together at heart center in a sign of gratitude as we close our practice in honor of all that there is and all that you are. Namaste.